All right, today we have an old school quadruple base matchup of affordable bottled and bonds bourbons. Bottles and bonds bourbons. Let me try that again. All right, today it's an old school quadruple base matchup of affordable bottled and bond bourbons. That's right, 4 bottled and bond bourbons go head to head, including Benchmark Bonded, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, Early Times Bottled and Bond, and JTS, you guessed it, Bottled and Bond. Now, it's been a while since I've sipped on any of these, and you know, they do say palates change over time. So what will be my favorite today? Stay tuned. It's the Master and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C, and welcome back to the Master and Drum. Like, subscribe, and help me keep climbing to 100,000 subscribers here in 2025. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and really want to thank all you for the suggestions. This matchup was another great suggestion by a viewer. Put it down in the comments. I was like, you know what? I haven't done that matchup in a long time. I'm curious to see how it will shake out. So thanks again for the suggestions. Now let's meet the contenders. All right, first up, it's Early Times. In 2020, the Early Times brand was purchased from Brown-Forman by Sazerac. Barton 1792 Distillery has been distilling and aging Early Times since the acquisition, using the same mash bill and proprietary yeast strain that Early Times fans have come to love. It's 79 corn, 11 rye, 10% malted barley. It's bottled at 100 proof, and a 1-liter bottle is available for about 25 bucks. The second bottle is Evan Williams Bottled and Bond from Heaven Hill. Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, or Evan Williams White Label, was introduced to the market in 2012. The mash bill is the popular Heaven Hill mash bill of 78 corn, 12 malted barley, and 10% rye. It's 100 proof, and this one's only about 20 bucks. Third is JTS Brown, named after John Thompson Street, JTS. Along with his half-brother George Brown, JTS, opened a wholesale liquor business that would later become the Brown-Forman Corporation. Now, the mash bill is also the Heaven Hill 78 corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. It's 100 proof and retails also for about 20 bucks. Now, JTS Brown, I think it's primarily available in Kentucky, but I think a few other states still get it. And lastly is Benchmark Bonded, a 100 proof 4-year-old bourbon with an undisclosed mash bill from Sazerac. It's part of the Benchmark lineup of bourbons, and it's also priced at only 20 bucks.
Bud Liquor, our prices have never been lower!
All right, let's see who wins this thing. All right, guys, so as usual in this quadruple base matchup, I'm gonna mix these up. I'm also going to nose them, taste them, grade them on the nose, the palate, and the finish, and the one with the most points ends up winning. So let me just move these around a little bit more. I'm actually curious to see how different, so you have the JTS Bottled and Bond and the Evan Williams, which have the same mash bill. They're both non-age stated, bottled and bond, so they gotta be at least 4 years old. So I'll be curious to see how similar or different they are. So, okay, this should be fun. Let's dive in, here we go. First one has definitely a lot of the corn, has a lot of the grain in it. Now, none of these have age statements, but they're at least 4 years old, so it's good to know that at least. All right, so a little bit of oak, a little bit of nuttiness coming through here on the first one. It's very sweet, your vanillas, your very light caramels. Yeah, like a slight peanut butter note, a little bit. Let's go to the second one here. Ooh, this one's sweeter. This one has a little bit more of like a cotton candy thing going on. Cotton candy, little bit of like a Skittles Starburst vibe going on. Kind of like a fresh pack of like a hard candy. Interesting. Very sweet. Maybe it comes through more of along lines of a little bit of a strawberry, which is kind of good. Man, I like that nose a lot. It's definitely a little sweeter. Not really picking up the oak like I am in the first one. Let's go to number 3 here. Number 3 is weirding me out. Number 3 is giving me like juicy fruit gum vibes. There's a very fruit forward component to this that's really interesting. The vanillas are there, but this one has like this juicy fruit gum, maybe hints of cotton candy type thing. Confectioner sugar. This I didn't think would get much sweeter than the number 2 here. So now compared, number 2 has a little bit more oak going on. Number 3 is probably the sweetest. This thing is straight up candy in a glass. All right, let's go to number 4. So this one gets back a little bit to more of that nutty profile. A little bit more oak, a little brighter. There's a little bit of a sour note here that I'm picking up. Kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know if I'm digging this this nose as much. Okay, so really the two in the lead are 2 and 3. These two have the best noses. 1 is a very solid nose, but that youthful quality isn't really bringing me in. 2 and 3 though, I love the sweetness of 3, but I think 2 has the sweetness with a little bit more oak and caramel and dark flavors. So I do like the balance in 2. So I'm gonna give the nose to number 2. All right, let's go to palate. One is solid. It's as solid as they come when it comes to a Bottled and Bond bourbon. Very sweet, approachable, 100 proof, not too much depth going on here. Obviously you have your, again, your vanillas, your caramels, that nuttiness, that quality does come through. A little bit of a cornbread note there in the back end as well. So this one doesn't feel like it has like any, significant age to me. Yeah, it's okay. Has a hint of like a wet cardboard note going on it. Yeah. Good, solid, not amazing, but good Bottled and Bond bourbon. Oh, almost spilled that. Let's go to number 2 here. Number 2, much like the nose, just offers a little bit more. It offers more sweetness, also a little bit more dark flavor. Like I'm picking up a little bit of a dark fruit. I'm getting an apple peel in it. I'm also getting not so much the cotton candy or the strawberry, but hold on one second. Yeah, I think I'm actually tasting a little bit of maybe a banana type note. So yeah, that could clue me in onto what that could be, but we'll see how it shakes out. However, that one has a little bit more depth, a little bit more rounded flavor than the first one. And again, we don't know the ages of these, but number 2 to me feels older than 1. Not saying that makes it better, but I do feel like it gives it a little bit more depth. All right, let's go to number 3. This one was the sweetest on the nose. Man, this is it's so juicy fruit gum. It's almost like you could wrap like pineapple in here and mango and maybe some citrus too. This thing is really fruit forward. I think the palate has shades of that, but man, that is sweet. That is candy sweet in a good way. It's got a little bit of a nice finish here, but man, it's a very, very sweet experience. Man, that's good. That is just candy in a glass. You could drink that all day. That is candy in a glass. All right, let's go to number 4. See how this one shakes. This was my least favorite on the nose. Let's see how it does on the palate. This is probably the least interesting on the palate. Just not a lot going on. I mean, it's a very basic standard bourbon, kind of a standard sipper. I feel like you get the oak. I also feel like you get a nice punch of caramel and vanilla, as you would think. But there's an aftertaste to this that I can't quite put my finger on. You could probably convince me a little bit of a citrus note there too. Also a little bit of a dusty peanut there as well. But it's just lacking a little bit more depth. Good spice on it. All these have decent finishes. The finish category in this is going to be tough because they're all 100 proof. I'm not really finding one that stands out. But as far as palate goes, do one more quick sip of each. 1 is very good, but I feel like you could taste that youth in it. Number 2 is delicious. Number 2 is probably the most well-rounded. I don't think 4 is in the conversation, but number 3, I like how sweet 3 is, but there's not much else going on. I actually think 1 provides a little bit more of a spice to it versus 3. 3 is just candy, and 4 just has kind of a funky aftertaste I'm not digging. I'm gonna have to give the palate to 2 again. I think palate for me wins on nose and palate, so that's probably gonna be the winner. I mean, we could talk about finish real quick. 3 doesn't have really much of a finish. The finish on number 4, I think, actually kind of kills the whole experience because I'm getting a very weird aftertaste. Now, 1 and 2, you could probably get in the conversation here. 1 actually has a nice little spice to it. albeit it has a little bit of a youthful characteristic, but it's not killing the entire experience for me. You know, one might have actually the most spice out of all four. One has a sneaky short to medium finish, while the others really don't. But I think overall, 2 on nose and palate takes it for me. So I'm gonna put number 2 in first place, number 1 in second place, number 3 will stay in third, and number 4 will stay right where it is. So I'm just gonna switch these glasses around, and that's gonna be my ranking. Let's find out what the last place was, and this goes to, interesting, I haven't had this in a while. This is the old school JTS Brown. And this is a little bit of an older bottle. Not sure if that really affected the rankings, but this one just really didn't do it for me at all. Again, it just has a weird flavor to it on the back end. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 was the sweetest one, and number 3 goes to, surprising but not surprised, the Benchmark Bonded. Benchmark Bonded comes in with just straight up candy in a glass. If that is your flavor profile, then that's the way to go. This is really, really sweet. It's fruit forward. It's got a very, very, very small hint of spice, but universally, other than the sweet, it didn't really bring much else to the table. I'm thinking number 1 could be the early times, so I'm getting that banana note, but let's see if I'm wrong. Number 2, in second place, is the Evan Williams Bonded, and I think just because of that spice kick, it kind of held on. However, I do think there's a little bit of a youthful quality to it. I'm not crazy about it. I do think if you don't care about the finish, you could probably switch out the Benchmark if you're going for it. But the winner, even distilled by Barton 1792, is Early Times. Early Times, remember, they are still using the proprietary yeast strain, the proprietary mash bill. Does it taste a little different than the Brown-Forman version? When I did the side-by-side, I do think it does have a little bit of a different taste, but in this lineup, it still stood out as the most rounded. It still stood out as the having a little bit more depth than the other 3. And it also comes in the liter bottle. So overall, the Early Times might still be kind of the king of bottled and bond values. So there you go. All right, guys, well, hope you enjoyed this quadruple-based matchup here on the Master and Drum. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the matchup. Also, don't forget to give me some more suggestions if you have any more fun matchups for me to do. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers, and I'll see you next time right here on the Master and Drum. Early Time. I'm not going to mix these together. I don't think it's going to go well. Cheers, guys.